Welcome to You Can Do It. Part 1, we actually put the Westphalia detachable tow bar on the vehicle, and now we're going to look at wiring up our electrics. Now, I've done a bit of research on this, and it appears that up to 2009 you can just wire up your electrics as per the old days, and just take basically a feed and power from each cable in the current circuit. So you can just take a splice into the left-hand indicator and take that down to your socket. But after 2009, they with the CAN bus, you can't do that. You need to have a dedicated relay. So you take a mains power, permanent mains power from the battery or from the fuse board, but it's got to be permanent down to the relay, which powers up the relay, and will put the power through, and then you just take trigger feeds from whatever circuit you're taking a feed from. So that's very important. But this is a 2009, so it's the old style. So this arrived. I've gone for a 13. I've gone for a 13 pin, which, although I don't need it, I quite like the fact that it locks in there, and you twist and you lock in your male. So we're going to use that. And if I need to have a 7-pin, if I've got a 7-pin trailer, I'll just put a little adapter on there. So this is also, it's quite a good one. I've just got, it's a universal one I just bought. I think it's about, I think about 20 quid, but it's all sealed up and it's all nice and firm there. That's good. I've got 2 meters of cable that comes with it. It probably won't be enough, but we'll sort something out. Now, in the meantime, I've also been looking at how we're going to get the cable into the car, into the van, and I thought originally that I could come in through here, but actually after looking at the Westphalia website and looking at the instructions for their kits, I see, so there is a hole. I've taken the grommet out, the grommet was there, there's a hole that goes right the way up there to your light, so I should be able to drop down a cable from there, and I'll do the same on the other side. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so take the lights off. You just unscrew those 2. There's one there, you put a Phillips head screwdriver in there, you take that, and then this, there you are, will slide off. You've taken your lamp off, there you've got an axis there. So we're going to have a look at how we can get some wires through. That's off now. We'll take that socket off because I've done that, and then it goes in here to a little grommet, so I've taken that grommet out there. So now I'm going to try and pick off which wire does what, and take a feed from there. Bit of progress. I've just put a tracer wire in there because I've just taken that back out. I pushed it all back through there just so I can then pull the thing back in. I've managed to, on this side, I've taken that little grommet that was on this side here. I've managed to push a bit of, this is just tracer cable, I've pushed that up there, and look, it's coming out here. So this is the socket, this is the cable, it goes up to that left lamp. So I'm just going to basically splice into here, splice in here some things coming out. I'm not actually going to solder them, I'm actually going to use some Wago connectors just for speed. I'm going to put those in, and then I can push this back again, and I've got my feeds there, which will drop down there to round to the tow bar. So let me get on. Okay, strategies, approach. Okay, we've got a, so basically this cable comes along here. I'm going to eventually cable tie it up here tight, but it's going to run along here, yeah, and it's going to go in there thing, and it's going to come up. So I've got my little tracer thing, tracer cable. I've just put it with a bit of gaffer tape there, which should pull that through. Now at this point you had 2 options. I mean, I've got this this nice protective cabling goes around all of the cables. I could slice that down and then split the cables, so the stuff for the left goes that way, the stuff for the right goes on this way. But to be honest, I've still got a mattress in the back there, and it's chucking it down with the rain outside. I can't be bothered to move it, which means getting to the equivalent of this on the other side, it's going to be a pain in the arse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my cables up through there, up into there. I'll splice in for this side, and then I believe that from the front of the vehicle, it comes along across the top of the roof lining and down anyway. So I'm going to take the roof lining down there, and I'll splice into the right hand side up there. So this is again where you can choose whichever route you want to do it, or however you want to do it. You can do it closer to the light inside, or it doesn't really matter if you just do it right up there where it comes from the front of the vehicle. So let's see how I get on. I'll pull a bit of cable. Okay, so that cable runs along there, behind there, it's a gap, around there, through there and up there. I've put some extra padding around the sort of grommet area, although it's even in the sleeve itself, just to make sure that there's nothing's going to get cut when it goes through into the bodywork. That's all nice and secure and tight. So that all comes up there now. So basically I've got everything inside the vehicle. Actually quite easy. I'll show you a bit of the wiring up now. So I've got my cables through here. These, funny enough, the thinner ones are all for the equivalent of a 7-pin, and the thicker ones, which I've separated up here, these are for permanent live and earth, switched live and earth when you've got a caravan. So this was the main earth for all the like indicators and brake lights and everything. So I've put a nice little connector on the end of there and screwed it up to the earth here. And this is brown, which I'm guessing when you look at this socket, there's a brown one in the middle. That's got to be the earth. As you can see, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which corresponds to those 6. And what we're going to do now, so I've just turned on the parking lights. So if you want to do this like one-handed, and you've got the voltmeter in the background. Jesus, this is a bit of a feat. Okay, so if I put that in the brown, which is number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's at earth. Stick that in there. So I know I've got that in the earth, and then what I'll do is just go along each one. Voltmeter doesn't show anything. Voltmeter doesn't show anything. Voltmeter doesn't show anything. Voltmeter shows 12 volts. So I now know that the top one there, this one here, is the parking lights, or the lights. So that corresponds, please bear in mind I'm trying to do this with one set of hands and I've got 4 inches. That corresponds there to this one, which actually looks, that's a white and black. I think this is like a purple and black or something. So that's the one that will be the parking lights. And then I've got my little sheet down here from the thing. So it says, on my situation, it says right hand tail lamps are brown, which is pin 5, brown. So on these cables here that have come from the tow bar socket, I know that brown here is my parking lights. So I am basically going to spline into here, into those two. So let's get on and do that. I've broken it there. I've just actually cut it, and I'm using the Wago connectors because they're really easy, and I can then slot in whichever one I need to slot in. But it's great because if you do make a mistake, it's really easy to change it, and then once it's all done up, I can maybe solder them all up. But to be honest, I'll probably leave them with the Wagos. I've got those done now. So I'm actually getting a bit, this is starting to look a bit more organised. So I'll connect them up in a minute. So I've connected all those up there. They're all connected up there. So you just basically read off your sheet. That's from the socket. Tells me what each colour does, and then you've obviously tested here for the output on this socket, so then you can just connect the right ones in. So I'm just going to leave like that for the moment until until I know it's all up and running. So these cables are obviously for the caravan, so these are like heavy duty for the splice, but we're not wiring it up for that at the moment. We're sort of wiring it up as a cross between a 7-pin and a 13-pin. So these three here, these will go to the other side. I think one's a right hand indicator, fog lamp. Now that needs to go back. I'm going to use my little pull wire, which obviously pulls back out here, so I'm going to connect this up into here and pull this back, and then I can connect the light back on. I'll do that now. I've pulled that back through, put the grommet on, I'll now connect up the lights. Tidied this up. I've stuck some of these little stick-on supports, put a little zip tie around that. So now I've threaded, using my tracer cable here, but I've threaded this up so it goes up here, up here, up here. And then if I take down the lining here, you can see I've got this cable up to here. So this cable here that goes across here must go across to the other lights. So what I'm going to do is, because this is quite tight, I'm going to try and, I've got plenty of slack here, so I'm going to cut into here, and we're going to join this cable up and take a feed off of here. So we're taking a feed slightly before it actually branches off in the main wiring loom to go here. So how do I know what colours I need? So what I'm going to do now is we're going to undo this bolt, this screw, take this light off, and we'll have a look at the back of that and we'll work out the colours from there. Taking the light off, I've undone that. So see, you've got the same numbers there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and every one of those blocks is full, where it was only one was missing on the other one, and I think that's because this the one that's number 2 will actually probably be the fog light, because you only get a fog light on one side on these T5s. So yeah, I'll obviously check that. I'll just double check that with the voltmeter. So we'll do the same as we did on the other side, and just double check everything. But then that gives me the colours that I need to look for up the top. Once I find those colours, I can use those. So everything's worked out. We've worked out what that is. Obviously, there are different numbers. Interesting. So the earth is a 3 here. Brake light is 1. Reverse is 2. Right hand indicator is 4. Tail lamp is 6. And the fog lamp is the grey one, which is grey, and which is number 5. So anyway, I'm going to go up the top here. I've already found that's the grey one there, the grey and white one, so that's the fog lamp. So I'll cut that now and I'll connect that up. Anyway, see you in a minute. Okay, that's all done now. So that's all sorted out there. Be careful, I cut one wrong because I, you know, you get a green and a black and a green, but sometimes you've got to make sure you remember which one is the heavy side. So you can have a lot of black and a little tiny bit of green, or obviously a little bit of black and a lot of green. So sometimes it's a bit difficult up there to see, so I made a mistake there, so I've got one more cut than necessary. But anyway, it's all working. So I'm just going to check now on the 13-pin socket down here, check that I get all the same, everything works now. So it's just a quick case of putting the panels back on and popping all the rivets, but there, you've basically done it. Yeah, I think there's different ways of wiring it, but so just to recap, the wiring goes along there, up there, then I've gone up the top and tied into the cable at the top there. But if I didn't have all the stuff in there, I'd probably just gone along the bottom there and up to that side for the feeds from there, and I've gone up to that side for the feeds on that side. Anyway, you can do it, and you've done it. If you like this video and it's helped you, which is the whole reason I put this out here, try and motivate people to do things that they maybe wouldn't do otherwise, or they need information on how to do something, then just please give me a thumbs up. Obviously, if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, and then tell me why you don't like it, and I'll improve for next time. You can do it.